Pokémon Evil Teams create a good obstacle throughout the games, and these evil teams are more interesting than you'd think. And so today we're going over the most interesting, most unknown, or sometimes just kinda funny facts about Pokémon Evil Teams. And this includes general facts about the teams or the grunts. We of course start with the classic and beloved Team Rocket. And let's go, there are 4 rocket grunts called the 4 Rocket Sisters, and their teams are Grimer and Coughing, Meowth and Raticate, 3 Voltorb, and the oldest of the sisters has a Persian. For Giovanni, I actually have 2 cool facts. In the anime universe, Giovanni's mom was the founder of Team Rocket, and fittingly, her name is Madame Boss. Next, Giovanni was going to be an Elite 4 member in Gold and Silver. When the data for the 97 Space World demo released in 2018, it was found in the internal data that he was going to be a League member, with the other planned League members being Misty, Bruno, and Lorelei. Proton's Gen 4 team is based on a Rocket Grunt and Executive from Gen 2, that being a Grunt and Slowpoke Well who only has a Coughing, and a Rocket Executive in the Radio Tower with a Golbat. Like Proton, Petrol is also based on a Rocket Executive from Gen 2, an Executive from the Rocket HQ, and one from the Radio Tower, creating a plot hole since they were at both locations at the same time. Archer's Japanese name is Apollo, likely based on NASA's Apollo program that led to the moon landing. As for Ariana, it's heavily theorized that she's Silver's mom. This is due to the similarities between their hairstyles and hair colors. Jessie's mom was a high-ranking Rocket member named Miyamoto. However, she disappeared during a mission to record Mew's voice. In the banned episode Beauty and the Beach, James wears fake boobs. My boy's been breaking gender norms since 1997. Meowth's ability to speak actually prevents him from learning Payday, which he reveals in the episode Meowth Rules. This was also the episode where he was worshipped by Islanders, and where he famously said, "Wow, I have a lot of people to disappoint."
Me too, kid.
Now we head to Hoenn for the first of its 2 evil teams, Team Magma. In Gen 3 development, Team Magma and Aqua were divided by ideologies, with Team Magma centering around culture and science. In Pokémon Emerald, you face both Team Magma and Team Aqua, but perhaps from an oversight, you don't battle Courtney at all in Emerald, with Shelly taking up pretty much every spot Courtney would be battled. As revealed in Oras, Tabitha is 27 years old, which I guess is the age to join an evil team since Cyrus is also 27. Apparently, Maxie and his rival Archie were once on the same team. Maybe this is a callback to the teams originally being divided by ideologies. Staying in Hoenn, we now talk about the wetter evil team, Team Aqua. While Team Magma's original ideology was culture and science, Team Aqua's original ideology was centered around nature conservation. In Shelly's anime debut, she was mistakenly named Isabelle. Luckily, this was fixed for her later appearances. There is an ironic quirk about Matt and other Team Aqua members. It's that in Sapphire, none of Team Aqua's Pokemon know water moves. For Archie, Master shows that he really does care about Pokemon, even if it's still in a pretty warped way. Archie talks about how he dislikes humans who soil the ocean, and he believes that Passio's artificial island tech could really help Pokemon. He even saves a little girl when Groudon and Kyogre go on a rampage. But heading over to Sinnoh, we meet Team Galactic. In Japanese, Team Galactic is Gingadon, meaning Galaxy Gang, but this is actually a reference to a group of Postman antagonists, which as a reminder, Game Freak worked on prior to Pokemon. Of the Team Galactic commanders, you meet and battle Mars first, followed by Jupiter and Saturn. This may reference how of the 3 planets, Mars is the closest to Earth. In Spanish versions of the Sinnoh games, Jupiter was renamed to Ceres, the name of a dwarf planet in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. The reason for this change is that Jupiter is a male Roman god, so they probably didn't want to create any confusion about Jupiter's gender, something that did end up happening with Saturn. In Gen 4, Saturn's team is filled with female Pokemon, and in Gen 4, the gender of a team would usually match that of the trainer. Some manga mistranslations even refer to him as a female.
Also behold, Jupiter's beta design.
When you discount Rainbow Rocket, Cyrus is the only villain who won. In the anime, he did technically have his perfect universe created, though it was seemingly destroyed by Dialga and Palkia, leaving Cyrus's fate unknown. And in Platinum, he also technically won, since he seemingly chooses to stay in the distortion world, where he ends up being the only one left once the player catches Giratina. Charon is named after Pluto's largest moon, so that might explain why you never battle him. And just for the heck of it, let's include Volo. Volo is the trainer who battles you with the most Pokemon at once. He has his main team, which is very similar to Cynthia's team, and Giratina, who you battle twice, first in their altered form and second in their origin form. Next, we enter Unova for probably my favorite evil team, Team Plasma. Between Black and White and their sequels, Team Plasma is split into two, those who genuinely wanted to help Pokemon and those who wanted power, with the former still wearing their knight-inspired uniforms in the sequels. N, also known as Natural Harmonia Gropius, has the trainer ID of 00002, making him the only evil team member with a confirmed trainer ID, and the only trainer whose Pokemon you can catch in the wild. Now, I'm just gonna lump together the 7 sages who aren't Ghetsis, and the fact about them is that they're all named after colors. Gorm is Irish/Gaelic for blue, Bronius is a play on brown, Rude is red in Dutch, Zinzalin is a reddish purple, Giallo is yellow in Italian, and Ryoku comes from the Japanese word for greenish yellow. Though going back to Rude, he's the sage most loyal to N. He even took care of Azora, who was one of N's friends. Throughout his designs, Ghetsis' right eye is always covered up, and along with that, his right arm seems to be almost black, but through concept art, his right eye is shown to be heavily scarred. And here's where you can come up with a theory on how this happened. Ghetsis' Hydreigon has 0 friendship, getting full power from frustration, so it's theorized that Ghetsis' own Hydreigon is who scarred him. Prior to Black 2 and White 2 and the use of the memory link, it was theorized that the Striton gym leaders were the Shadow Triad, all because they're the only gym leaders who don't battle Team Plasma, but it was revealed that they just thought they were too weak to help. In Black 2 and White 2, the Plasma theme was made to be more intense. This was to show how their true intentions are now clear. In English, Korras's name is a play on colorless, and his Japanese name is Achroma, a play on achromatic. This is to show how he's ultimately a morally gray character. Now we head to Kalos for quite possibly the richest evil team. The reason I say that is because it costs 5 million Poké to join Team Flare. Aliana's anime English dub voice actor is Teresa Buckheister, who was previously the English dub's voice director. Celosia's name in Japanese is Korea, and that's all I got. Meanwhile, Ryanee's Japanese name is Begonia, which is a type of flower. But for a more interesting fact, Mabel's Houndoom actually levels down, going from level 48 in her first battle to level 46 in her next one. For Seroxic's name, it's believed to come from cirrhosis, which is the abnormal drying of the skin or membranes. As revealed in the anime, Lysander once helped the less fortunate. However, the people he helped became greedy and always wanted more. This is what made him want to wipe out the ugliness of the world. Finally, of all the Kalos Elite Four members, Malva is the only one to not have a Pokemon capable of Mega Evolution. Next up in Alola is my second favorite evil team, Team Skull. No, the other one. That's the one! There's a really funny fourth wall break involving 2 Team Skull Grunts, in which a Skull Grunt notices that her friend is wearing her tank top and suggests that they start writing their names on their tops. But apparently, that would be pointless as they're all named Grunts. Plumeria's tattoos are actually fake, as she no longer has them after the events of the Alola games. Gladion was actually the one who named Silvally, which is revealed in their dex entries. You know, Lucamine in the games would was shown to be a pretty bad mom. But Gladion isn't the only Team Skull member who had a bad parent, as it's implied that Guzma's father used to beat him, at least until Guzma one day got the strength to beat his father back. But staying in Alola though, we'll also discuss the Aether Foundation, since they also fill the role of evil team in the Alola games. How can actually betray you during an Aether Foundation double battle? If How has Primarina, there's a 1 in 3 chance his Hydro Vortex will target you. His Z move is based on Sparkling Aria, which hits your partner in doubles. So due to an oversight, this causes How's AI to see you as a viable target. Baba is the only trainer to have the Aether Branch Chief trainer class, something he really likes to brag about during Sun and Moon. Luckily, Wicke is shown keeping him in check with a Beware in the credits. Also, look at Wicke's official TCG card.
I may be a degenerate, a scumbag. I love women.
After the events of Sun and Moon, Glutamine went to Kanto to recover. As it turns out, she still had traces of Nihiligo's neurotoxins within her, so Lily took her to Bill in hopes that his technology would help her mom, the same one that separated him from the Pokemon he was fused with. Now for the loudest evil team, Team Yell. The Team Yell Grunts are really just the Spikemuth gym trainers, which you can see during the Spikemuth gym trial. Marnie's uniform as a gym challenger is 960, which can be read in Japanese as hardship, referencing how bad things were for her and peers in Spikemuth's poor state. Alternatively, 960 can be read as black in Japanese, which is of course fitting with Marnie being a dark type specialist. Here's as Obstagoon has maxed out defense and special defense EVs, which outside of Sword and Shield's battle tower, I believe makes Piers the only trainer in Galar to have EV investment. And like the Aether Foundation, I'll also cover Macrocosmos. It's possible that Macrocosmos stole the data on making Type Null. Type Null Sword and Shield Dex entry mentions how their data was stolen, and it is a Macrocosmos worker who gives you the gift Type Null. Oleana is the vice president of Macrocosmos, and she's also the one who invented the Dynamax bands. For many, Chairman Rose's evil turn seemed like a poorly done twist, but luckily, the anime gave him way more development than the games. Rose's dad was a miner who gathered the energy source Galar used to use, but one day he died during a mining accident gathering said energy. This is what made him want to solve Galar's future energy crisis. And as a bonus fact, Chairman Rose once came in second in a championship cup. Now finally for the newest evil team who isn't so evil, Team Star. Giacomo's stage name in English is DJ Vice. Meanwhile, in Japanese, it's DJ Bad Deeds. In the Indigo disc, Mel will ask you if you think dreams are important, and the game actually gives you the option to laugh at her for it. Ever wonder why Atticus dresses like a ninja and talks like a knight? Well, that's because he's a fan of old-fashioned things. Ortega comes from a very wealthy apparel company in Paldea, but he bragged about his wealth so much that he got bullied for it. Every Pokemon region has at least one fighting type specialist, and Aerie is the first one to not be a gym leader or Elite Four member. It's theorized that Penny's father is Peony. At first, the prime suspect was Chairman Rose, but the DLC epilogue pretty much confirmed that her dad is Peony, as Penny remarks about her dad saying Adventure, Peony's line. And there you have it, folks. One fact about every evil team member. How many of these did you know already? Which of these facts was your favorite? If you could be a member of any evil team, which would it be? Let me know in the comments below. And become a member if you're interested. It's only $2 a month. Have a nice day, you wonderful people. Okay, fine, I'll talk about the funny bird team man.
You know, hair rhymes with air.
I gotta say, it's an unusual experience for me to be the normal one.
What makes a Pokemon a viable Team Sky Pokemon is 4 criteria. Being a flying type Pokemon, of course, having the levitate ability, visibly flying in their animations, and being able to learn the move Fly, with good boys, Poochyena and Mightyena being the exceptions. But the latter 3 rules has led Team Sky to have some non-flying types, including but not limited to Electros, Miraidon, and Golurk. Not only are they not flying type, but some of them are even weak to ground. Also, I just have to share this clip.
Oh, you came? Of course I did.